Hey everyone, today we are on one of what I call the local roads. The roads that we actually do work on. So this road here, we have unclogged multiple times in the past. They did logging on this road last season, and they won't do it again until this winter. So this road is still being used, but it will continue to grow in for the rest of the summer. You will probably recognize this pipe if you've been watching my channel for a while. We unclogged it once when it was way below freezing. It had to have been -10 out that morning. Lots of ice cracking and shattering. It is a secondary beaver pond, but it's a very small pipe. Very easy for them to plug it up. We're gonna unclog it today. This will be the third major unclogging here, and I think we did a few minor ones too. Road is the worst flooding I've ever seen, and it caused a good amount of erosion damage. Those beavers were very destructive today. So we'll be there within 5 minutes going down this road. Today it poured most of the day, and I hope it doesn't pour while we're here doing this work. It's sprinkling, but I don't mind that. Today's a very nice day. The high temperature was 62 degrees. Today is July 2nd, 2023. It's good to be on these roads, away from all the 4th of July traffic. Yeah, a lot of people are not willing to go this far out where you need multiple tanks of gas. It keeps most people away. Most people don't do that. Well, I just picked up some trail cameras I left out here for about 3 months. Got a good time lapse of the tamarack trees growing in. The only pine tree that loses its needles. It went from a dead looking forest into a nice green forest over the 3 months, April up until now. Also got another one with a ton of moose. I knew it was an active animal trail. Tons of moose, bunch of deer. That thing got triggered thousands of times by the wind, and I was not going to go through thousands and thousands of files, so whatever ones had a thumbnail of an animal I put on there, and I didn't even use them all because it's just repetitive. You know, you can only watch a moose go by the camera a certain amount of times before it gets so boring. So as soon as we're done unclogging this, I need to put up a lot of ribbons so they know the road needs to be fixed. And we're gonna put a certain ribbon combo up, a certain combination of colors to show that there needs to be a trapper at this location to grab these beavers and move them out of here. I like this road. They completely regraded it about 5 years ago. It was 2 lanes, but only using it in the winter causes it to grow in a lot. Logging is more common in the winter because they can go more places, don't have to worry about sinking into the swamps. They can log a lot more stuff. Way easier to work in the winter for machinery. Well, except for starting a diesel engine, that's not going to be fun for them. But I imagine they probably have auxiliary with heaters on a bunch of them. This road's in good shape. I'm going almost 40. And here we are. So this is an old gravel pit right here. It's blocked off. They don't use it anymore. People just come here to go shooting. So this is where I'm gonna park, but I just want you to see, look at the flood right here. Look at this. Beavers flooded out the road, but we should have it completely drained. It washed out a good amount too. Look at this. Boom. Careful of this blind corner, although it's unlikely we'll see anyone else today. We might, but it's unlikely. I've been driving out here all day, haven't passed a single other person. All right, so we're gonna go park now. One more fun time. And now we're gonna go drain that out of here and mark it a bunch. Look at all that chocolate milk coming down the windshield. Alright, park right in here. Got to gear up, get the big high boots on, grab the rake, and we are ready to go. All right, everyone, I might have to set up and I might have to come back for bug spray. Despite the wind, mosquitoes this time of year are very aggressive in July. Typically, July and August are my slow months. It's usually really hot and it's usually dry. Beavers can't do this, but it's been raining almost every single day for the past 2 months. And of course, now that I got out to do this, it's starting to pick up the rain. I don't think I'm going to need bug spray. I'll just get bit for a few minutes. This is not going to take long at all. The pipe is right here somewhere. We'll find it. It's all crossing the road now. We'll come back here in like an hour or so and show you this completely drained. It could have been way worse. This vegetation's actually keeping it from washing out even more. But that's crossing, and we'll have it down like at least a foot below the road by the time we're done. This is where the water's gonna come out. I'm gonna go ahead and set up camera number 2 for you guys. It's running a little bit, which is a good thing. Woo! All right, camera number 2 is running. We got a good angle of it. So now the other side of the road, we're gonna find this. I don't think it's gonna be hard. We've done it before. The blockage is probably not even that big. Let's see. Water here gets deep fast. I'm basically just wearing a coat because of the rain. I never thought I'd be able to tolerate that in the July. Oh, here it is. Is this it? Oh, it can't be that easy. Wow. Is it really that easy? Yep, it is. That was easy. It's right there. Or maybe it won't be that easy. I'm gonna have to get my sleeves or something wet. Yeah. They jammed some long things in that pipe. Yep. They got some deep things in there, but thankfully it's a plastic pipe. It's smooth on the inside. Maybe we can get the whole thing to slide. These bugs are horrible. I'm gonna have so many mosquito bites on me. Oh, is it sliding the whole thing? Something's moving. Oh, I hate mosquitoes so much. Ah, look at this thing that was in there. Wow. And it's still coming. Thing's like 9 feet. Ah, mosquitoes all over me. Come on, let loose. Whole clog, I think, just let loose. Yep. Whoa, look at it go. Oh, wow. Ah! I have a swarm of these guys around me. There we go. Whoa, that current! I can't even put my hand in front of it without it folding back into the pipe. This is literally one you could get stuck against if you fell over, because you got that all that weight inside the pipe pulling. Is it open? Yep, and this is a tiny pipe. The beavers can't really touch it while it's going this hard, but they'll get it tonight. This will recede fast. This is dangerous, but it feels kind of cool touching that. I love that noise. Oh, I was about to say, I didn't put anything on today. Why am I greasy? There's like an oily, nasty film on the water. It's from the swamp rotting. Wow. It's going real hard on the other side, harder than I've ever seen it go. This is the worst blockage I've ever seen at this location. You can't see much right now on the surface, but it is going crazy. And these mosquitoes are crazy compared to where I live. These wilderness mosquitoes don't get to see many humans. That is going so hard right now, pulling so much water in. Look at the other side. I can't wait to see what camera number 2 saw when that thing let go. Wow. Look at that go. That's amazing. And camera number 2 off. Just look at it blasting through the woods, making its way down to a lake eventually. There's no more roads down there except temporary ones that are so abandoned, no one's been down them in years. I don't even know if that exists, but look at this. You already see the middle of the road. I can't believe how fast that result happened. Wow. I don't even think we have to come back later. This draining right before our very eyes. Ah, mosquito. I'm gonna leave you guys recording and time-lapse this while I go put the rest of my gear away, and I'm gonna spray myself with permethrin spray. I don't like other bug sprays because it stinks, and I'm not gonna be able to have a shower for like 5 days because I'm gonna be out here, and I don't feel it's warm enough to go in the river or anything. So, I'll leave you guys here for a little bit. I'll be right back. Alright everyone, I was gone for like 4 minutes. The puddles remaining in the road will be there for a while. The road is so packed down from 200,000-pound log trucks. It's going to take a while to sink in, even when the water table drops. Although inside the road, I don't know if the water table really even affects that, but look at this. This pipe will be visible. I'm definitely going to come back here in like an hour or 2 right before dusk. It's already getting pretty late, so maybe in like an hour I'll be right back here. Anyways, this puddle, like I said, is going to take a little while. This will be completely gone. It's still receding into the swamp. You see it's pulling all that muddy water from the roadway back in there. Most of that's just from me driving through it. See, that looks like coffee going in there. That'll be gone pretty soon. These beavers, this is a secondary pond. Their primary pond is up there. If you drive up around this corner and walk in the woods, you can see it. I just know that from the winter time. It's too overgrown now to even see the beaver pond. So, this used to be a road right here. Too grown in to even take a vehicle down, if you can tell that even was a road. And this road right here, I have camped down here a few times. The first time I discovered it, I got out with my handsaw. I cut a few things out of the road so I could plow the vehicle through here. But a couple of years later, I'm not plowing through here again. No, it's not worth it. Although it looks like they touched it again. I don't remember this being so open, but that's where I used to drive through just a couple of years back. Is this a culvert pipe? Right underneath here? Well, I think it is, but it's probably collapsed by the looks of it. Maybe used to be. somewhere around here maybe. Used to be a culvert pipe, but I definitely can't see it anymore. I think maybe it was there. There's like a big hump where something's missing. I remember, you know, there are so many varieties of mosquitoes in the state of Maine, and whatever kind lives in far northern Maine is different than what I have at home, and they'll bite you with a bug spray on. They'll land right on it. They don't care. Look at all this flooded area. This looks like an old log skid trail. The machine that brings the logs to the truck. Look at this swamp. It looks like the beavers have another swamp right here, which is right below all that water. Look at this. You can tell by the little islands and stuff. It's been here a while. This is a very big swamp. Cannot even see the end of it. Not at all. This is pretty dense right here. Yeah, that water. It might be joining it. Maybe it's not. Let's go on a little explore. I'm not feeling it yet, but I'm going to be so itchy once I stop moving around. All my neck, I can feel I got bit like crazy. Look how nice and green it is. We've been raining nonstop this year. I'm so happy. After 3 years of drought, we finally have a year with too much rain. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that water's coming into here. I can hear rapids. Yes, absolutely. We're feeding the downstream beaver swamp. And maybe I should have left the big high boots on. Not really. I'm not going to go too deep into here, but this is beautiful. This moss, the pools of orange iron oxidizing bacteria. It's harmless, but obviously here we have a lot of iron in the ground that they're feeding off of, or some very rusty piece of equipment was abandoned out here. Still finding a good spot to plow through. This water looks like it just started moving around. I think this is all from us. And look at this. There's another beaver dam right here, like right beneath the road. Look at this. They just build all these little secondary ponds, these little beaver dams and stuff. I think it's really cool to go around in these beaver swamps. All right, we're about to go back up to the road, so I didn't know this was down here. Look at all this oil too, but all that's natural. Look at all this nasty sludge. Yeah, this is where the water was flowing before we showed up. Not anymore. That was cool. I'm glad I went in there. Look at this. Just about completely off the road now. And it was only 5 minutes more. Now we'll come back here in like an hour, and hopefully we'll get to see the pipe actually out of the water. The beavers will be on it, so we'll come back here in a few days. Look at that nasty, nasty, oily whirlpool. Another stick stuck in it. That was very long. Longer than expected. This is a very small pipe. Wow. More crud. Just got sent through. It feels really weird. There's still a lot of suction, but noticeably less from before. It just wants to fold my hand in there. There's still so much pressure. That could still be dangerous if you were to fall down against it. Because what's happening is the weight of the water in the pipe, if you get stuck against that, all that water is going to grab you. And it could release, but you'll probably be hurt before then. But that rock wasn't out of the water. That one I think was even underwater too. Only that one was showing, I believe, when I arrived. And there'll be even more. This was so much fun when we drained it back in the wintertime. The ice got stuck on all the rocks and it was shattering and creaking like crazy. Look at the water line over there. Can't believe it. We already lost like 8 inches. Yeah, I believe it. it was crossing the road, and it's not even next to the road anymore. It's down a bit, and this is gonna drain another almost 2 feet. So yeah, 30, maybe 36 inches of loss by the end of this. Yep, and we've been raining like crazy. When beavers have water, they go absolutely nuts, especially in the summertime. So I expect to have another blockage here in a couple of days. We'll be back. But there's really not much traffic on this road now. Like I said, a lot of this area is marshy, so they're not going to even bother logging most of it until next winter. It gets so cold in this climate, sometimes negative 40 even. Negative 40 is the same Celsius or Fahrenheit, actually. It gets so cold for months at a time that these roads get frost heaves, they get all twisted. It becomes dangerous in the spring because this road is waterlogged. When the beavers do this, this road gets even more destroyed in the winter because the water in the road expands, pushing it up. It's all twisted and dangerous. But when it melts, it doesn't melt evenly, and it doesn't go back the way it came out usually. It leaves sinkholes. Sometimes when there's a melting frost heave, the surface of the road will be dry. You'll drive right into a pit of quicksand you didn't even know was there. I did that once, got stuck 19 hours. Now I have a winch that I can move to either end of the vehicle. I put a receiver hitch in the front in case it ever happens again. But I don't think it would happen in the first place. I got a lot more clearance than before. But we will be back to this area, and I'll come back in like an hour. In the meantime, I have a trail camera up the road I want to go grab out of a moose swamp. See what there is. Used to be the most popular place ever. They used to bring tours out there, all kinds of stuff. Past couple years, the moose have been moving away, and I think it's because of the drought. But I'm hoping this year, the extended amount of rain means we'll actually get something on those cameras. Yep, we're going to go grab those cameras right now and see what we got in that swamp. I'll probably post that in a separate video. So, we'll be back. Nice, no more flood. And it literally took like 5 minutes. And this road doesn't have nearly as much damage as I thought it was going to have from that crossing, just because it's so packed by heavy trucks. We'll be back in a little bit. So right here, if this was wintertime, we'd be able to see a big beaver swamp in there, right down the hill. Right here's another culvert, but I've never seen beavers messing with it. I don't think they even would. It's kind of shallow. I don't see how they'd really be able to build that up easily. They go after culverts because the dam's already made. They just have to plug one little spot. It's easy and laziness. Here's another pipe, I think. No, not right there. Here maybe? Everything's just so grown in. Yeah, this is it. It looks not as wet as I would have expected for this year. All right, everybody, we're probably maybe 5 minutes or so out. It's been well over an hour, and we're gonna see how much that water receded. I predict that we will be able to see the culvert pipe. Part of it will be out of the water, I think, because that got off the road way faster than I expected. That's not that big of a pond, not at all. These roads are in way better condition than I expected for the amount of rain. It's just so packed down by the big trucks, and the big trucks aren't currently on this road like I mentioned, and they're the ones that would rut it up, but they're waiting mostly until the winter. That's why the road's so nice. Lightweight vehicles aren't going to do much to a very packed, rocky road. It's just drizzling. I love this weather so much. If it wasn't drizzling, I don't think we'd ever see the sunshine, because there's a lot of wildfire smoke this week. We haven't had that. We lucked out most of the last month from the Canada fires, but this month it's drifting into northern New England for the first time. Southern New England dealt with it for a while though. Alright, so we got to turn here. This is where we got to block that pipe, and never fails. Every single year somebody steals the street sign. Every year it's because it's named after a person with a common name, and I'm assuming people steal it because they want it to hang in their house. That's what I think it is. Some years the logging company doesn't even bother replacing it unless they're actually working on the road. I am surprised they haven't just changed the name or something. They've done that to other roads. There was another road around here that had a name that they changed it because people kept taking it because of the way it sounded. Alright. A couple more twists and then we'll be there. Here we are. Another little hairpin turn. You want to go way over, and another vehicle should be hugging the other corner, although maybe they won't. Alright, look at this. Completely drained. That looks nice. We're gonna get out it now and take a look at this. Let me just go park where I did before. Oh my gosh, that is so empty. Way more empty for just an hour than I expected it to be. Wow. And that road there, we can go up here in just a minute. I tried to go up there in the spring, but it was so bad. There's so many trees down, and they're not going to clear them. They're not using it anymore. But maybe somebody chainsawed it since then. That was the one people were worried because I saw a bear like a half a mile before I got out of the car to move a tree. But they're black bears. They don't really want to mess with you. It's not like a grizzly that'll attack usually unprovoked. Hour later. Big progress. Most of that puddle up there went away. It sank. And these two eventually will be gone. Looks like it was crossing in two spots. I didn't see much here, but maybe it was. Yeah, it probably was. It just wasn't trickling much because it emptied. Wow. We lost 2 feet of water, and I know it's still going down. When we started, you could not see that rock. You could not see that rock. You could see that one a little bit. Look if I zoom in, see the water line? The tip of it was showing, but these other ones, they were all under. Look at the tree over there. That's the water line. Multiple feet. See on that trunk? We lost multiple feet out here. Yep, pipe is out of the water, and beavers have not come over yet, but I think they probably will by morning. Look at this. Don't even need the big high boots to get here anymore. Look at this excavator damage. But I am actually kind of impressed that they didn't damage it more. Look at this. I spoke too soon, guys. I'm feeling plastic excavator damage, which is keeping a lot of this stuff right here. This water smells gross because we just exposed a bunch of rotting the stuff that was under the water for a while. Anyways, still kind of impressive that the guy hit a plastic pipe but barely damaged it. Look at this. It was in the road, and look at it. There's over 2 feet of loss. And it still has the potential to go down 10 inches depending how fast it's coming in. You couldn't really tell how fast it was going across there because it had the barrier of plants. If this was summertime, it would drop down to barely even flowing. But this time of year, well, it is summer, but not a normal summer. It's raining a lot this year. So, yeah, this is not even near the road anymore. It was up in here. Impressive. I'm surprised how fast this actually drained. I really am. Looks like some deer tracks or something from before it was... mosquitoes found me again, but not as bad this time. I do have bug spray, which is helping a little, and we got a nice breeze happening. Oh, this was underwater. Awesome. This is awesome. I'm so happy that they or that we were able to drain this. We'll find it. It's all crossing the road now. We'll come back here in like an hour or so and show you this completely drained. So we'll continue a little bit on that road where the bear was around last time. I just want to take a peek in here. This looks kind of interesting. There's definitely active beavers. It's a secondary pond. It's very possible they won't show up tonight, but they will eventually inevitably show up. Beaver chewed this, and by this healing, maybe about 5 years ago, the tree actually recovered, kinda, but it'll have problems probably its whole life. Look at this. All this was... Look at the water line on the trees. You see, the trees did not grow leaves underwater. That's where the water was. And those trees all eventually would die from this flood. By draining it, we just bought them time. But not much time. Look at it. Lots of evidence of active beavers. And with this amount of flow, and you saw how fast this left. This drained fast. It doesn't go very far before their next beaver dam. But they are always going to go ahead and build secondary ponds. That's actually still bleeding out a little bit. It's so fresh. So that drained fast, which means it can also fill fast. If what you're seeing there is the inflow, I think it's still draining a little bit, but they definitely got a good flow. They could plug this and have this whole thing flooded just the way we found it, probably in a day, maybe 2 days. But it being a secondary pond, who knows? There's a lot of very active chew marks I'm now noticing. So I personally think they will be here tonight, if not tomorrow night. But you never know with beavers. They have surprised me with secondary ponds before and haven't even checked on them. But considering you saw all those active beaver swamps downstream and upstream, I think there's going to be a few beavers coming through here doing inspections. So because there's beaver up and downstream, I think it's getting plugged pretty soon. But we'll check on it next week. We're not going to be in this area tomorrow or the next day. Actually, I will be here tomorrow morning. We'll check it then. And if there's anything, we'll do it again. But I'll definitely be back here in like a week or so. So we're going to go check out the Bear Road now. So sometimes people really want to go down roads and they will chainsaw them themselves. That road's not being used, so I'm not very hopeful that it's actually going to be open. But we're going to go look. Wow, this ground is soft. I got like no traction there, maybe with two-wheel drive. That's... It feels weird. Do I have a flat? Yep, I got a flat. So, my plans to going deep in the wilderness are not happening tomorrow. I'm gonna pull over here. I'm not driving far on this rim. Yep, I have a flat tire. Yeah, I was even warned by my dealership that the tires that came with this truck are garbage because most people don't actually use an off-road vehicle for this. So yeah, I'm replacing my tires this week. Yeah. I have to get better ones. This sucks. It absolutely sucks. And I'm not going to travel these roads anymore because if I get another flat, I'm not leaving. So, yep. And there's a holiday coming up, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to get this done. But we'll come back up here at some point. Thanks for watching, everyone. Now I got to deal with this tire, and it's going to be a very, very muddy mess. Damn it. All right, everyone. About 20 minutes later, I replaced the tire. Now, without another spare tire, I'm going to not be back here tomorrow, but I'll head back out in a few days after replacing all my tires because I was warned by the dealership when I got that thing that they're street tires. Even though it's an off-road vehicle, the factory does not give you off-road tires because the majority of people will never bring it off-road once. And this road, it just popped the garbage factory tires, so I'm gonna just have to get good aggressive ones, but I'm gonna keep the others as spares. Not gonna just throw them out, but yeah, it can't be repaired. It's got like a big slit on the sidewall from something today, and I guess it was losing air for quite a while because it felt weird for a while, but taking off just there, That felt really bad. It was completely empty. Rim doesn't have any damage though. And just in that 20 minutes or so, this drained even more. Look at that. Barely flowing. I came back down here to wash my hands off. I'm gonna have to change this shirt. I could smell it the whole time, and I rolled in some kind of poop. I think it's bear poop. That was where I was changing the tire. Bit muddy from underneath there. And yeah. Well, I broke my tire flattening record. This is the 5th or 6th flat I've ever got. This is the first one that has ever been caused by a road hazard. Every other flat I got on these roads always was a nail. Somehow deep in the wilderness, always a nail, and it was always the driver's side rear. This time it was the passenger side rear, which makes more sense because nails are usually near the edge. But we did a good job here. I definitely won't be coming back tomorrow, but I will be coming back next week. And by next week, I can almost guarantee that it will be a blockage. So it's a good thing I didn't head deep into the wilderness and have this happen. I'd be a lot more worried, but all went well. First time ever changing a spare on a body-on-frame vehicle. I honestly didn't like it as much. The way you have to put the jack on the axle, it seemed way more flimsy than how you change a tire with a unibody. But I hope today's video was interesting, everybody. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Those mosquitoes were bad. Real bad. Yeah, I'm very filthy. Oh. Parking brake. So that's why that flat tire, that's why it felt like I was winding up a rubber band. Yep, that's too bad. I wish it wasn't a sidewall tear. I could have plugged it and kept going a few more days. But at least we accomplished something on this trip. This place specifically about almost 6 hours from my house. What is that? What is that? I'm gonna have to tie that down. I think I know what it is. Wait. Yeah. I threw the muddy tire on the roof because I didn't want it in here. And I guess that's the end of the bungee cord hitting. The metal part of the bungee, I think, is hitting the roof. I gotta get out and look at that. Let's see if it stops. Nothing was hitting, but I'm not really sure what's causing that. I think it's something in here, actually. Something just moved. I think. Whatever. I can't drive with that. That is annoying. It sounds like it's on the roof, but it's not. What is making that? Yeah, it's in here. I know what it is. No longer concerned. It is something in here. Annoying, huh? Can I deal with this for an hour before the paved road? No. No, not happening. I think I solved it. Let's see. Now I'm clueless. What the heck is that? I got no clue what's making that noise. No clue. What the heck? heck is that? It's definitely in here. You guys hear annoying rattles all the time with me, but this is one of the most annoying. Still figure it out when I get home. We just got to deal with this for 1 hour of the trip. Oh my gosh. That is driving me nuts. It is driving me nuts, whatever's making that sound. And I can't figure out what it is. Sounds like it's on the roof, but nothing is loose. I don't know. And maybe it's only at high speeds it's loose because the tire's flat. I just don't want it to make damage something. I think it is on the roof now. But I only hear it at certain speeds. If I'm going really fast, I don't hear it anymore. I think it's because the tire's flat. That what I put on the roof is causing it to. I think it's because the tire's flat. I can't really secure it as well as a blown up tire. I don't have the strength to squeeze it. I finally solved it. It was the bungees and stuff on the roof. I just never heard it before because when the tire's clean, it stays inside. It was a bungee. Only at high speeds it could flex enough with the tire.